How many times in your life have you been faced with making decisions? We can range from the simplest to the most complicated. And don't worry, we don't blame you for having made a bad decision. But would you like to know how you can improve this process? Well, we invite you to see how you can improve it. Don't worry, this video will not only be an explanation, but it will also show you a clear and current example of this, which is the process of how Mexico got and will apply the vaccines for COVID-19. But first, what is decision making?
Decision making is the process of making choices by identifying a decision, gathering information, and assessing alternative resolutions.
And it consists in a simple way of 5 steps. Number 1, recognition of the problem. Number 2, interpretation of the problem. Number 3, attention to the problem. Number 4, courses of action. And number 5, consequences. Number 1, recognition of the problem. In this phase, we initially recognize what we want to solve, taking into account the current state with respect to the desired state. Now, in the example, the COVID-19 virus was reported for the first time on Tuesday, January 7 in 2020 by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention of China. After, on December 21st, 2018, the Municipal Health Commission of the city of
Wuhan.
reported 27 cases of a typhoid pneumonia of unknown etiology, 7 of which were severe. This is a consequence of eating a raw bat. Yes, I said it right. A month later, the number of infected had increased to 9,892 cases, of which 1,527 became seriously sick. On March 11 of 2020, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic. Number 2, interpretation of the problem. Interpretation is the sensitivity to capture the needs and qualitative and quantitative characteristics of the problem. Once we have the problem, we must make a diagnosis, and after this we can develop corrective measures, as well as identify the possible resolutions. In the examples, the numbers. Oh my god, this is the complicated part. In the case of Mexico, COVID-19 is the cause of a significant number of deaths. Currently, there are 2,137,884 people confirmed with coronavirus. There are already 191,789 people killed by coronavirus. It is important to have in mind when analyzing this data that Mexico, with 127,576,000 inhabitants, is among the most populated countries in the world. Number 3, attention to the problem. Here, we must analyze the problem as objectively as possible and together with this, how to evaluate the alternatives to find a solution. So, to attend the problem of COVID-19, the vaccine is necessary. On December 21st of 2020, the World Health Organization released the listing for emergency use of the Pfizer vaccine against COVID-19. On February 15, 2 versions of the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccines against the disease manufactured in Republic of Korea and the Serum Institute of India were given to the green light for the inclusion of this list, and between now and June, it is planning to integrate other vaccines on that list. The officials in each country decide whether to approve vaccines for use in the country, and based on the World Health Organization recommendations, develop policies on how they should be used. Number 4, courses of action. What are the possible courses of actions? The evaluation of the situation from different angles and its analysis serve to know if there are no solutions already developed for the problem. It is time to use creativity to find alternative paths. The government of Mexico, through the Health Secretary Jorge Alcocer Varela, signed with the pharmaceutical company Pfizer the agreement to manufacture and supply the vaccine against the SARS-CoV-2 virus for the prevention of COVID-19 in Mexico, through which 24.4 million of vaccines will be purchased. Since then, the first 250,000 doses have been received for the start of the vaccination against COVID-19 in Mexico, with priority on health personnel who are in the first line of care for this disease. You see it? Different courses. However, Mexico will have the vaccines of COVAX programs of the World Health Organization, which grants early access to those that are in phase 3 tests, such as those of CanSino, AstraZeneca, Moderna, among others. Finally, number 5. Consequences. What happens if I decide on A? What does the alternative B lead? With well-identified paths, it is possible to imagine the results, not only in terms of numbers, costs of profits, but also in qualitative aspects such as image, effort, or satisfaction. Each decision involves learning. Even if the results were not as expected, it is possible to learn from mistakes to not repeat them. The consequences of implementing the best alternative for Mexico is the fact that the Mexican health authorities already have the vaccination plan against the coronavirus in the country already. It will be a long process that started from the end of 2020 and will last until the first months of 2022. Through the morning conference of President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, the Health Secretary Jorge Alcocer details the approximate dates and logistics that the vaccination campaign will follow for the more than 126 million inhabitants in Mexico. Well, with this in mind, we hope that from now you can make better decisions in your life. Thank you.